On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are back in the shop with my rare 2013 Mini Cooper Coupe. And we've been working on this for a long time, and today I'm going to tell you why you should never buy one of these cheap and broken. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and today, like I said, we are back in the shop with the Mini Cooper Coupe. And of course, today it's time to see what's really wrong with it. And we finally figured it out, even though we put a million hours of troubleshooting into this thing. We got so close to getting it running. It's a blown head gasket. It's always a blown head gasket on all these Mini Coopers. This one, though, was just showing a misfire on one cylinder, and it seemed like we were going to be able to get that fixed. So we've done it all. We've pulled the injectors, we've swapped injectors, we have walnut blasted the intake to get all the carbon out of it, which is unfortunate because this engine is now absolutely beautiful. It looks great inside. And then after we got it all put back together, oh, it had a burn up starter too from somebody that tried cranking it forever and ever. It looked like it had actually caught on fire, and who knows, maybe it did. But we've done all of that work, put spark plugs in it, and even got the special tools to do the spark plugs in this thing. And here we are with it still not running. So let's jump inside and crank it for a second. All right, key in, foot on brake. You can hear it trying to run. It's trying so hard. And there it gave up. And that's the last time we are gonna try to crank this car. We have tried and tried and tried, and we even hit it with a little starting fluid directly into the intake after we got everything fixed, thinking that would be enough to bring it back to life because it had been flooded, right? And it was very clearly flooded. But then I noticed that we would clear flood, crank, 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 and all the cylinders would be clean. But now 3, and of course 2 was the one that was showing the misfire before, if I remember right. Now 3 keeps showing more and more liquid on top of the piston. So I noticed after that, I could hear a little bit of noise coming from the cooling system. It's a blown head gasket. It always is on these Mini Coopers. It's just so common. And even when they start to blow, people just keep driving them, and that's the end of them. You know we're not gonna be able to just toss a head gasket in this. The head's probably warped. The block could be warped to go along with it. So luckily, as we said from the beginning, we have a spare engine sitting right over here. Another N18, and this one is known good. It came out of a perfectly running Mini that was wrecked. So now that we took all the good parts off this and put them on that engine, it's time to put the engine in this car. And I know Johnny said it's no big deal. It's like 2 hours, but it's actually a ton of work. And we'll have to drop the entire front subframe after we get everything disconnected and all the fluids drained out. So we got to dump the refrigerant out of the AC. So I got to dig out the recovery machine. I have to dump all the coolant, and I also have to dump all the oil. And then that should get us to the point where we can drop this subframe, all the brake fluid too. We gotta, well, we might try to hang the calipers, but you know, if you can't hang the calipers, you also have to do the brake fluid. So we've got quite the to-do list here, but all there is to do is tear the front end of this car down and start getting ready to tear the engine out. So here we go. Another Mini with the front coming off, and once we get the engine in here, I think we'll be good to go. I mean, we should be. The other engine was running perfectly. And we're gonna move all the injectors that we just cleaned out of this over to the other one. Yeah, so at least we'll have fresh injectors. So that's a good place to start. So let's get into it. Time to tear off the front bumper, the lights, the upper core support here. Basically, just shred the whole thing, and it should be relatively easy to drop the engine out. Well, that didn't take long. There was only 0.64 pounds of refrigerant in this system. I'm sure it's a pretty small system, but that doesn't seem like enough. I bet it was low. Anyway, let's jump back into tearing this thing down. Welcome to Mini Land, ladies and gentlemen. Eric is over here, and we just finished getting the front clip, the bumper, everything is coming off of this car right now. And then over here in the mini engine land, we moved that over here because we got to get the transmission off of this one. So, do you need more power? I think you need way more power.
Those a DeWalt come up.
Here you go. Have a Herc.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the extension was. No, the top and the bottom on that bracket. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You're gonna need the swivel, that's for sure.
Probably.
I don't know. You might get it. Look at that.
Shallow would get it. This one.
A shallow would get it. Swivel might also get it. Let's see. Does the 3/8 have the power to defeat the Mini Cooper CV bracket? It's iffy. Yeah. It's kind of a baby. And it's the old one. There's a Gen 2 of that. Put the extension on this and run it.
Alright, I give up. Golly.
1,600 foot-pounds. Ain't nothing like 1,600 foot-pounds.
Too loud. Can't do it. Too many decibels.
Too many dBs. There's two of us in this shop.
Just one. Not the one in front of the camera.
Hey, there we go. Man, keep that running. It's got a nice fan in it. I had a breeze over here.
Yeah.
Had a whole on breeze.
Unbreezable.
All right, so now we should be ready to yank that CV. The other CV's already out, so we're getting down to a quick pull on this transmission.
Where's the bar?
It's right there.
Oh, that's a good place for it.
Yep, I figured right beside you was it. I know this was a complete side quest because it had nothing to do with the Mini Cooper Coupe, but this engine and transmission that were on the hydraulic lift table, that transmission needs to go in the JCW. So we had to get this engine, that's a blown head gasket, separated, the subframe outside, all that torn down. And now we've got our lift table back so we can drop the subframe on that one. And soon we'll be ready to put the transmission in that one. So a whole bunch of Legos around here. And of course that engine that had a blown head gasket is going away immediately. So over here we are basically ready to drop everything out. There's just 2 bolts in the subframe, the main, yeah, about 4 bolts on the bottom, and there's 2 bolts left in the shocks up top. So that's it. This engine is actually out. I know it's sitting in the car, but it comes out in a handful of minutes after you pull those last few bolts. So that is all that's left over here. Over there, we got a lot of cleanup to do, and we can come over here and get started again. Well guys, we have this thing all the way out. Look how pitiful it looks. It's just absolutely covered in oil. Oil everywhere, all over this. So I can't wait to get rid of this engine. It's gonna solve a lot of problems for us as soon as it's out of here, but it's all out. We have every bolt out, but the last bolt in the steering rack up to the column, if you can see it kind of silvery poking out all the way at the back, that one won't come out. So it's the last thing, and we are calling it a night because everything else is completely done. Shocks are out, subframe's off, it's sitting on the jacks. So hopefully it doesn't lower overnight, or we'll come out to this laying on the ground in front of the car. But there you go. That is taking the engine out of one of these minis. I don't think you have to pull the front clip. It's just not possible because Johnny says he does these in 2 hours, which is crazy. Maybe he just does it that fast, but it's taken us hours and hours, and we are calling it at that very last thing. I'll have to call him and see what his thoughts are on pulling that bolt. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time when we finish swapping the engine. So that's really, I mean, the other engine's sitting right there. It won't take us too long to do the swap-a-roo on the subframe. And we'll just throw that one on and shove it all back in here, but we got a lot of time in this and didn't win. So that is that's what it looks like when you're working on these things. For some reason that steering rack always catches us. You know, we're on like our fourth, fifth one of these things, and that steering rack bolt, it's a nightmare every single time.